What's going on? This is Shango Ray, aka Real Deal Ray, your intuition's mouthpiece when the monkey mind is taking over. Okay, today is August 13th. Okay, August 13th, good old Monday, Moon Day. All right, this is the Shangodiac for all my horny goats out there. You know what I'm saying? The Cappies. All right, the Capistranos, the Cappuccinos. All right, she's this is your time to shine, all right? It's your time to shine. So, uh, if I never mention this to you ever again, like, share, subscribe, and thrive. Like, share, subscribe, and thrive. Like, share, subscribe, and thrive, all right? In that particular order. That is the order of operations. Please eat my Aunt Sally's ass, all right? Whatever. You get it. There's an order to things here. All right, now, and go ahead and make this video look like it is hitchhiking. Okay, thumb the fuck up. All right, thumb up, baby. Make it look like it's hitchhiking. All right, on the side of the freeway. Okay, so we're gonna get into this. This is more of a forecast-oriented reading this time. Usually, I kind of go in the backstory, what's the hidden shit now, and then where is your points of your greatest points of leverage. But in this case, we're gonna just be briefly in our rear view, and then we're looking, ahead. Okay, based on your energy, and of course, general readings are general. This is for you, whether your Capistrano is your sun, moon, rising, or whatever the fuck else that may be pertinent to you. So perk up if it's you. All right, perk up. I hope everybody is well. Also, hold on a second. Where's my manners? All right. Want to send a shout out here to all the opening of the way energies from Ganapati, Ganesha, Eshu Elegua, Pombagira, Mekafu, you know what I'm saying? Right now, there's probably a whole lot more. The whole Eshu Kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Zerabanda, you know, yeah, I know I'm missing out on some right now, but hey, they know my heart, no. But yeah, so definitely this is the day for that. Opening of roads, closing of doors as well. It's just as important to close doors as it is to open them, so you could ensure the successful passage of your travels. Does that make sense to you? All right, let's get into this shit. So before I do, I'm going to need you to give this head some of your head. And by head, of course, I mean your psychic energy, or as far as just, hey, you know what? If this is for me, I want to hear this, so lasso your little intentions around this. All right, go ahead and blow on this, would you? Yeah, he likes when you do that. All right. So now show us what's going on for the caps forecast. Like I said, we're just gonna do a brief. Hey, right now, as far as like whether that's current to past, briefly, and then it's all forecast from here. So if you're aligned with this reading, most of this is going to be future oriented. So it probably has not transpired yet, hasn't occurred yet. But you could best believe some shit's gonna be popping off for some of y'all, especially those of you who are attracted to this, who hear this. Okay, it's my intention that this reading serve you to your highest good in the highest way. However, it's got to get through to you. All right. So here we go. Let's see what's happening. So just 1 second here. Don't want to take too much time on this part, but okay. To all my goats, dear goats. All right. Um, I do see that either currently or in the very near past, okay, we attempted to start something new, some form of security, all right, to establish some new form of security. Now, this could also be not just related to money or monetary things. This can also be within the confines of a relationship, especially if you had tried to communicate with somebody, or somebody may be trying to communicate with you, but I feel like it's more going outward from you, because that's who this is about. And maybe trying to get some types of terms and conditions or something within a relationship, right? To be able to feel more secure in this particular relationship. And of course, this could also be relating to, you know, lovers, side niggas and bitches. It's true, and even children. And when I say children, I'm, of course, them goddamn teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I need you to this or that, whatever. But I see it did not happen though. There was an attempt made anyway for that. It didn't happen. Um, but the other thing, it's kind of like you had a minus, but then you had a plus. Okay. I see for some of you though, financially, you have been able to start traversing up the hill. You know what I'm saying? Why do I keep feeling for some of you cappies? There's a long distance trip. There's a change. A lot of changes going on here. More or less, also changes as far as shifts. Not so much as, oh, you're fraught with endings, but it's really just shifts coming from within you. So in essence, I gotta say, in the past here, I see like you've been kind of taking the wheel to your own um to your own destiny in a lot of different ways. So I want to actually give you props for that. Okay. But I do see and there's a couple of you Capricorns out there, you guys, or ladies, you guys actually overcame. You got a very financial wise anyway, even if it may not look like it, because sometimes there's those times in your life where there's hills and then there's dips. And you just got to know that if you're in a dip, you're like right there at the precipice of another hill. So that's really the way it works out. But so far, some of you, man, some of you guys are cheap as fuck, though. You're not. It's not that you cheap. You just y'all would just be more or less like, hey, go ahead, can you get me this or that? Meanwhile, you got a pocket full of cash, But hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I'm not saying all of you, and I'm not saying definitely in all ways. If you got any teenage caps, you definitely know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. So now let's look at forecast. Let's hit this forecast going on. What's going on with this forecast? All right. Forecast. Show us what's going on. Now, of course, what's going to happen right now is I'm going to get a couple streams. I'm going to get a few different streams, and out of them streams, I might get many streams as far as different variations, as it may apply to you. Okay, you might have a mix of some of these different streams. Okay, because there's always different demographics as far as I'm concerned of Capricorns. Not all Cappies are going to be going through the same shit. There's different demographics. There's different calibers. All right, you got the goats that are like out on the field, and then you got them goats that climb straight up vertical walls, like that are fucking 100 stories, 200, 300 stories high and shit. You know what I mean? And they just slowly go up the hill while some of their compadres just be whew, falling to their death. That shit is nuts. Anyways, when I think of caps, I think of y'all like that. You them goats that are on top of the hill. Okay? So forecast, baby, forecast. Show us what is coming forth to the Capistranos here. Show us what is most probable based on their current energetic signature and trajectory to be coming forth to these cappuccinos here. What's going on? Cappuccino, cap. There's one line. Phew. All right, where's the other one? Very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm gonna go this one, then we're gonna finish in the middle. I like finishing in the middle, you know. Um, some of you caps that I have known and that I have experienced for myself have almost in some ways been the most, y'all are like sometimes like y'all are one of the most spiritual of the zodiacs per se, Um, but some of y'all are like so not, But if you're watching this, I know like you definitely your mind is definitely expanded or whatever. You would not be watching this shit. I wouldn't even be showing up anywhere close to you. Okay? But I do want to say this: there's is an opportunity for travel at work, some type of expansion, okay? Or there's another cap out there possibly even thinking about taking on another job, okay, or something like that, or maybe even doing some type of independent contract work or something, I don't know, but taking on another project. But what I see here is work related, though there's a lot of restlessness, or there has been. So there is going to be something is going to happen, there's only so much pressure the teapot can take before it pops, so there is definitely a branching out going on, like some type, there's a need to somehow expand. You know what, there's a need for change, okay? Now coincidentally this has happened to you because this has also been going on spiritually. You are being urged by your spirit, okay, to make the complete full circle here. Join your ego, id, personality. As far as it relates to being the kind of like the mask of your actual spirit. So I do see that there is like some type of convergence, but I'm also feeling. Let me just put it in real simple terms. There has been this feeling that has been bothering you as far as like, and this is really a shitty term, but you feeling like you're not where you should be. Okay. Now, even though I never suggest that you should all over yourself, but still, spiritually, what that is though is it's you pulling you. All right, you yanking you into like something. There's the aspect of you that just is not going to let you get comfortable with just how far you've come. Like there's so much farther to go, and there's so much farther that you want to go. There is also going to be your for this demographic here, you're also entering this time period where a lot of what you think is going to die. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what you held, a lot of the beliefs that you held, these things are about to be stripped away, peeled away. You know, some some of it's going to be seemingly external. Some of it's going to be actually by some of you who are actually going to start taking the initiative as well as the time to start questioning what the fuck do you actually believe, or what do you claim that you know? Why do you know it? Why do you believe it? And maybe even, where did this shit come from? It's really not so important. Some people got to, oh, you got to trace it all the way back. You know what? If you know it's there, it's there. It really don't. I mean, if it needs to come up, best believe you will have this flashback memory. Something will flash into your thing that you had totally forgotten about, hadn't thought about in years. That is also your spirit or your subconscious's way of saying, well, especially your subconscious, the reticular activating system, when you give it an objective to do, such as like, oh my God, where did I get this belief from? And then you just kind of let it go, you will find that all of a sudden your RAS will actually go out and be like, okay, where is this from? Search all your files, and then next thing you know, here, this is where it came from. Zoom. And then you will remember some shit that you had not thought about in years. I mean years. Or that you may have altogether just totally thrown a bunch of dirt over and thought you buried it, thought that was gone, but it's not gone, okay? So that's, I see a lot of that happening, and of course that's leading to this place of, well, then who am I? And then you're going to be like, well, is it more or less, am I asking a question like, who am I? Or is the more valid question, who do I choose to be? Who do I believe myself to be? Who do I believe myself to be within this context of my earthly work? Who do I believe myself to be as far as just in general? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you have to choose, all right? You have to choose. Some would say, well, I'm searching for the answer. What if you choose the answer? In that case, the answer could be what it is that you want, that you desire it to be. Sometimes we say, well, I'm searching for this answer as if there's just this one answer out there that's independent of you. And I call bullshit on that. All right. If you are doing your own spiritual work, okay, and you want access, imagine you had access to a hedge fund of spiritual energy, magical energy that you can use for your own purpose, for your own edification, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and of course materially. Then you want to check in and see what the fuck that 555 Juju crew do right now. This 5-5 energy, it is rooted in this 5-5 energy, which is the number 5 tripled, compounded, tripled, multiplied by 3. Okay, so, and that 5 is all about change. And many of you who this resonates with, check it out in the description box. But anyways, back to this shit. There is another demographic, and some of you might actually share this need for expansion because you feel the ship is going down. Okay, there's worry about the steadiness of work. Something is going on. Okay, you know what? There's also a saboteur. For one of you caps, there's a saboteur. There's someone trying to get you out of this job, get you out of your position, get you off your square. Okay, you may also discover, because we always do have to look at ourselves also, different ways in how you are sabotaging your rest, your recuperation from something. Because you know what? There's some of you caps out there also who have been struggling with some type of physical ailments. Okay, for some of you, it might even be digestive of some kind, but I do also feel something having to do with your body, having to do with your health. Okay, it may not be a disease, but it may be even an injury as well, too. So, those of you, whatever it is, and however it's going to manifest for those who this applies to, there is something that you are also doing to interfere with that. Now, this is also a potential portal. I say potential because if you don't look at it as a portal, then this energy is going to smack the fuck out of you. And it's just going to basically bitch slap you around. Okay, but if you look at this situation or this whatever this physical thing is, all right? If you look at it as an opportunity to commune with your spirit about this and you realize and you understand that your spirit is trying to tell you something through the guise of this physical injury, chronic condition, maybe it is a disease for you, whatever the fuck it is, that this is one way. And it's not just like this, your spirit said, hey, well, I'm gonna fucking throw out here's a disease for your ass that you don't want to listen. But it's just like it's been trying to get your attention about something, and it's looking at what is happening to you physically, how you've been suppressing your emotions, how you've been suppressing trauma, and it's like, look, if you don't hear me, this shit is going to get you. So now this shit may have started to get you by way of one of these types of scenarios. Okay, so that's how the shit works. Okay, it's not like your spirit is, or your higher self is just trying to be a dip, because your higher self is going through this shit with you. It just has a higher perspective, if you will, for lack of a better word. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. In addition, back to those of you who are also going through it with the work situation, I really feel this is a lot going on, man. with the work situation for some of you Capistranos, there's some deception going on. Now, some of this may even be your deception that you have done that supposedly nobody knows or nobody knows up until this point in the near future, but it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, okay? So maybe you stole something, or maybe you did some kind of, I don't know what, man. I just don't know what, but I know that for a few of you there was some, or you conspired along with some people, and now kind of like y'all thought this would never catch up to you, and now it's going to catch up to you, okay? But on the other side of that, I do see another side of demographics where it's just like it feels like you're a victim because it feels like somebody's just gunning. Somebody could be lying. Somebody is like got their nose all the way up the manager's ass to where they got corn in their nostrils, okay? And they are conspiring. There's shit that you do not know. There's shit that you're not aware of. There's deceptions, and they are also taking shape in the form of. They're also taking shape in the form of, like I said, uh, you got a lot of sevens here, man. Cloaked energy, deception, omitted shit, shit that you don't know will fuck you up more than the shit that you do know, okay? So now, another thing, some of you can get very, very snappy. Some of y'all have quite a temper when you get pushed or when certain buttons get pushed. I would like to also caution you because for some of you, your aggressive communication will seal the deal and end maybe a situation, or possibly really damage a relationship that you did not want. Okay. Second, at the same time, the polarity of this is there's something that you need to say. You got to get this out. You've been holding this shit in for a long time. There's something you got to tell somebody, and it is eating the shit out of you, or it has been. And it's not like you just been thinking about this every day and night or nothing like that, but it's there. It's in your queue. You know what I mean? Like I always, when I say in your queue, just know I'm talking about, like, you know how when you send something off to the printing machine and it's like, okay, we got four different things in your queue, and then if you're number five, you gotta wait till these things get printed out. These jobs get done first before your project gets printed up. So it's been in your motherfucking queue to print this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, get this shit out. Okay, last one here. I'm gonna do this one a little differently. All right. So this last demographic, or this last timeline stream that's coming through, it ends with you having a change of heart, a major, major, major change of heart, but it's in a positive direction for you as it relates to you. Okay. So whatever this situation is, we're about to find out. All right. I can tell you what's going to contribute to this. Knowing your deal breakers. Okay. First of all, it does take a bit of courage to admit what your deal breakers are, because once you admit what your deal breakers are, then you have to stick by them. Okay. Now, in the past, you have violated yourself. All right. You have totally just, violated yourself. You stuck your finger up your own ass. You violated yourself. All right. Based on those components of your psychology and your personality that makes up this particular version of yourself, you went against the grain. Okay. But I do see that that will not be happening anymore. Okay. Because this is a time where you're kind of just, I see you just shirking off the gloves, and you're like, enough with this shit, and I don't care from who, what, when, where, why. All right. It's enough. This is the line. Don't cross the fucking line. If you want me in your life, if you want me in your experience or in your reality, don't cross the fucking line, because I'm not playing. I will hoof my way up out of this bitch. Okay. I also see that you have coming closer now to the near future. So we worked our way from the outer future all the way now back over here, and yeah, you're gonna find a way to offer yourself in service by way of your creativity, by way of your intelligence, and also by way of your communication. Some of you are dynamic writers, okay? So I definitely see that going on. Also, for some, you know what? For me, your receptivity, your intuitive receptivity, I'll say, is really about to be heightened. If it's not, it's already heightening, but you know what I mean. Like it's going to be like on 10. So you may also want to have to be able to, or you may need to ground yourself a little bit more. But anyways, that's it for me. Listen, if you want your own personal psychic email reading, go to shango-ray.com. If you want your own hour-long consultation, you can do that too. Okay, so that's all. All roads lead to shango-ray.com. Okay, I said shango-ray.com. Okay, so that's where you find everything at. You look at the top. If you only, you'll see maybe two or three categories. You can hit the more, and you'll see all the other shit that we got there. So yeah, that's for you. So peace and blessings, and we'll be back again, Cappy.